Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Radio Works World. This is your host, Veronica Sosa and Vikki Thomas. Hello, Vikki. How are you?
I'm very well, Veronica. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, yes, yes. We're really happy. Are you in the mood? I'm so excited to be here tonight.
I am too. I've just arrived back from Chicago, so it's fantastic to be back at home. It's fantastic to be back into the normal life cycle of the washing and the cooking and everything else. So I'm excited to be sat here talking to everybody.
That's really good. That's really good. You came. How was it? Yesterday or today from Chicago? You said. Sorry.
I arrived back yesterday, so I got back home early hours of the morning. I think it was around about 2 a.m. I arrived back home this morning.
Oh my God, that's an entrepreneur life, huh? So we're talking today. Our subject today is really, really amazing because we're trying, to sort out or to, like to answer how do we structure or how we get a structure in our life, Vikki. As mothers, entrepreneurs, and maybe myself as a foreigner, as a migrant woman, in a different country here in Belgium, and as entrepreneur mothers, as I said. So I would like to talk about that tonight, because I think it's quite important when we talk about balance. And I don't even know if that balance exists or does it? Does it exist, the balance?
Well, it does, but it's down to us to actually ensure that we have the balance, and it's ensuring that we have the balance between everything that we do, balance between our family, really what the radio station is about, balance between juggling life, family, and business. And it's down to us to ensure that, the balance is right for us as individuals, because my balance is going to be totally separate to your balance. And it's going to be separate, very separate to each and every listener's balance.
I totally agree. I totally agree. But I think we can give like 3 points to our listeners that they can just, even though that we are all different from each other, we can't just like I don't know, keep that get that balance for these 3 points that I'm gonna say, and maybe you can give me your answer about that, what you think about it. I think the three most important thing that we can have the balance from and where we're gonna be going is, when we have passion about one thing. If we have passion about one thing, we can get that balance. The second one will be a structure, how we go and have that structure. So we have the balance, the passion to do something. So then we have the structure, and then we have the results. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think before we get to any of that, we really need to have our values and our whys. So, for us to be able to structure our life and balance our life, we need to know why we're doing it, why we're entrepreneurs, why we're, working like you and I are all hours of the day, and, you staying up until 3 o'clock in the morning and then messaging me. And, so we need to know why we do that and our values. And, we both know our reasons why, we do it for ourselves, we do it for our families, and we do it for our friends. So fundamentally, on top of the passion, the structure, to get results, the key thing beforehand is the value of what value we give to others while we're doing everything that we do as entrepreneurs. Do you agree?
Yeah, totally. And I'm thinking, meanwhile, you talk, it's like, it's like when people say, okay, am I an entrepreneur? And I don't know in English if the concept of entrepreneur will be the same thing, but as entrepreneur is a person that dares to do things, that to start something new, even though if they are working in a company, they will be entrepreneurs, no? So if you don't have that clarity, if you're not clear enough of what you want and your values are, then you're not going to have that balance, because you're going to be really, really, really sad about things, and things are going to be just terrible for you, don't you think?
Yeah, totally. Clarity is the key thing. And, entrepreneur is a funny word, because yes, it is the same as what you say in the UK. But, the reason I wrote the book about becoming a successful entrepreneur is because it's not a very recognized word so much in the UK. I thought, for me, when I first started using the word, or I first started hearing people use the word, I'd think, well, no, you're just a business person, you're just a business owner. And then the word serial entrepreneur came in, and it does take a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? It does take a lot of nurturing and a lot of self-confidence, I believe, to call yourself an entrepreneur. Yes, self-confidence is the word I would say.
Okay, that's then everything comes to just have clarity on who you are.
Yes.
And when you know who you are, what your values are, and what your passion about what you do, then is that you're gonna get the balance. If just, how do you say that? I will say, like, for example, if I know myself perfectly and I know my passion, then I have to transmit that passion to my family, I guess. That is the people who's around me, So they have to understand as well. How many times you have been flying or going around as myself, because I think there is a lot of people who doesn't understand that.
About the us flying around the world all the
Yeah,
time.
about being away, because as there is a lot of belief about being a mother, you have to be home, but I don't think we it's when you go away, when you come home, you're so happy to see your kids, and then you take them to school. We were talking about that this morning.
Yeah, this morning. Yeah,
and it's amazing because it's like we're wearing a lot of hats.
It is, and as we spoke about it this morning, going across to Chicago and speaking to people, and either new entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs that are budding entrepreneurs, let's say that word, that really just again want to inspire their children. And knowing that I've got children at home and a husband at home, and then I'm traveling, inspiring these women, coaching these women, and saying that, if I can do it from the past that I've had, that any of you can do it. And that's my passion. That is why I travel around the world now doing what I do, is because I've got a passion of inspiring budding entrepreneurs to be the best that they can be. And then when I come back home, as we were talking about it this morning, you come back in and, the children, and then you go straight back into, mummy mode.
Yes.
And, as we were talking this morning about my washing machine breaking down and me going down to the laundrette with bags of washing.
Yes,
the first thing my daughter said is, when are you going to get that washing machine fixed? I haven't got any clothes. You just think.
It is amazing because it's all about this role that women have now, and that we are empowering ourselves and working together towards the giving this passion to other women to work to have a better world, because we are collaborative, you say that in English, and
Yes.
and we are passion, and we have so much emotions inside, so we can wear a lot of different hats. But we would like to talk, and I would like to talk about how we get the structure, because I got the passion, believe me, I got the Latin passion.
You've got the Latin passion, yeah. I've seen you dance.
I know. Marina as well watched me dance on the Radio W.O.R.K.S award. It was amazing. But the structure was a little bit for me quite hard, because we can have all the passion that we can totally, like 100%, more than 100% passionate about things. But if we don't have the structure, we're not going to get anything. We're just going to be really frustrated, because we're not going to get where we want to get. Don't you think?
Yeah, because if we can have the passion, but if we haven't got the the focus.
The
another word that we need to bring into this perhaps is focus, and we haven't got the focus for our structure to know that when we're juggling so many things between life, family, and business, it all comes down to structure. And I do have to say, and the same as with you Veronica, that if we didn't have coaches around us, keeping us accountable and keeping our structures in place, we would never ever be able to juggle what we do. I don't believe, because
I totally agree. I totally agree with you. I totally agree. I have angels around me that support me, and
thanks.
Well, my angels know who my angels are. But it's true. I'm gonna call them them and coaches and angels.
No, I
But
like angels.
okay, it's true. It's true because they give you the sometimes when you are like lost and you are because we're human and we really sometimes feel sad about things. Otherwise, we will be machines if we don't feel it. But if we get overwhelmed, sometimes they are there to support you and talk to you and tell you the things that maybe you don't want to hear or the things that you want to hear. So it's perfect. So that focus, yes, is what we need. So if we have that, I would like to know, Vikki, if you say, you can tell me what is it that you do, for example, in the morning, when you start, so to see how a day of an entrepreneur, a mother entrepreneur goes, to see how is the difference between your day and my day. Let's see.
Well, I don't go and take the children to school in my pajamas. That's the difference between you and I. I told you I'd bring that up.
Evil woman. Why you have to say my secrets? Nobody knows that it's my pajama because it's black. So nobody knows that it's in winter time. So it's allowed. Okay, just can we be serious and then let me know.
It's the day structures. I structure each day as I can, depending on where I am in the world, in what country and what time zone. The same. So the alarm goes. I've got a vibrating alarm on my watch, a Fitbit. So I wake up quietly, and then I try and go downstairs. And I don't laugh at this. And I bounce on the trampoline.
Really?
Yeah, I've got a mini trampoline, and it was something from when I was doing my coaching with Tony Robbins. And so when I bounce on the trampoline in the morning, it makes your lymph nodes move up and down throughout your body, and it just gives you the happiness pill, so to speak. And when you play some nice music, I only do one or two songs. Obviously, when I'm traveling, I can't do this, but when I'm at home, just bouncing on that trampoline, just for one or two songs, it just makes you so much happier. And when you wake up in the morning happy, it makes a difference.
I'm sure that will bring the child that is in you, baby. So that's what we have to do. Girls, everybody who's listening to us, we need to bring that child that is inside us, please. That's the step number one. Then the other one.
If there's anything I do say, and I speak from stage about this as well, and I do say to people, do please go home, and if you have a children's trampoline or have a mini trampoline, please just try it for a week, and then just put a couple of songs on and just bounce. And to me through my website, and just saying that it's just made, because you feel silly sometimes, but it just makes you happy. So anyway, that's the one thing that I try and do as often as I can.
The other thing.
Go on.
Sorry, do you have a trampoline here?
Yes.
So,
well, why
I'm gonna dare you to upload a video jumping in the trampoline.
Right. Okay, you could do that.
Okay. The other thing would be.
Well, the other thing is a little bit new to me that I've only really been doing since May, and this was since one of my coaches from over in America said to me, and it's a gentleman called Nido Qubein, Nidoqubein. Now, it's a daily motivational book, and each morning I just, after I've done my bouncing on the trampoline and before I go into the shower, there's just every single day there's a little quote. And, I would say, hand on heart, majority of the time I read them, depends, I even take it traveling with me. So would you like me to read out the 20th of November?
Of course, please do that.
So the 20th of November, which it is today, isn't it? Yeah, sorry. It says, act now. And it says, the time to act is now. You can't start tomorrow and you can't start someday. Someday is usually another word for never. Milestones are achieved one step at a time. So decide what the first step will be and take it. And remember, don't mistake the difficult for the impossible. Inch by inch, life is a cinch. Big achievements often start with small steps. The key to do something is now, is today.
Wow.
That's it.
Wow.
So when you start off the morning on just one of those little, you know, and I skip through it quickly some mornings. Other mornings I will try and skip over other pages and read in advance. But it's just that little thing. And a couple of the ladies that I was coaching a fantastic lady from Dublin who came to Heathrow to do some coaching with me. And I gave her one of these books, one of these motivational books for her to be able to read each day as well. And, you know, the feedback that you get, if you read it, your frame of mind will psychologically work with whatever you're thinking. Does that make sense?
Totally.
So anyway, that's my structure. Then I'm not going to go into about how I go into the shower and I do my hair and my makeup and I have to sit in the same place every single morning. And
no, but I think it's really perfect to do the mind body fit. It's like, you know, making your child or your inner child calm.
Yeah, and then once you've got yourself ready, it's then the time for school, to get the children sorted for school. And you know, one thing that we say as, you know, mothers that are entrepreneurs as well, you know, the consensus of some of the coaches that I have say in the morning, the first couple of hours of the morning is when you do the reading and you do the implementation and the rest. But we as women have to also think that we do have the children to get ready for school. They've always lost a hockey sock or a homework book, or they've forgotten something. So, you know, that has to be incorporated into the early hours of the morning as well.
Yeah, well, we cannot prevent those things.
So let's hear about your morning then, Veronica, with your pajamas.
Yeah, well, my mornings are not jumping in the trampoline. But yes, I take Laura to school in my pajamas sometimes. Yes, it's true. But what I do the most is to have fun. For me, that inner child that you get out when you jump, just listen to a good music and just make myself in a mood.
Yeah.
To be inspired, to be motivated, things like that. And I speak to my coaches, and I think that's what I do. You know, to keep myself accountable with the things that I'm gonna do, and then juggle it.
Well, that's the thing, you know, we know, knowing each other, that we complete our daily productivities planners, which is something that we, you know, because we're both coached, we follow the guidelines of what we've been advised by our coaches. But as we laugh about it sometimes when we talk, don't we? Is that, you know, we have to move everything to the next day or further along because of, as you say, running into school and dropping off sports kit, or, you know, it's Laura's, you know, you're meeting Laura for lunch and you're taking her out and she said you're not allowed on your phone, and it's
yes, no, we have rules. We have to have rules. It's like the structure you have to, you know, that's the way you teach your kid. You know, to just, you know, the mommy time, then obviously the lover time, because we take care of our couples, if we do have it, of course.
Yeah.
And all that, and our friends. We need to take care of each part. It's a balance. It's not the table have four. How do you call those? In Spanish is patas.
What's that?
But you know, a table have to have the four to be on the floor, otherwise it goes. Falls.
The four what, sorry?
Oh my God, I don't know the name actually. But it's something that you have to have balance. Otherwise, then it wouldn't work. And you have to be about not having that. You know, caring about yourself. Is the main thing, and you know, you always will hear it. So what you can do is just to have an agenda.
It's like, you know, just going back to balance and having an agenda. It's like, you know, I remember one of my coaches said to me, it's like it's the wheel, and you know, you've got like work in one corner, and you've got relationships, and then you'd have your health, But then, you know, you've got significance. There's lots of different parts of the wheel, and if you don't look after each part in the same way, that wheel will not be a circular, and then, you know, you'll just start bobbling along instead of rolling along smoothly, if that makes sense.
Yes. I'm just thinking that the wheel is called the wheel of life.
The wheel is called the wheel of life, I think it is.
Yes, yeah.
No, that's perfect. So I would like to say something as well, because I'm echoing here now. And I'm just hearing myself twice. But anyway, yes.
It is the wheel of life, as I say. It's just making sure that we've got everything, you know, and that I don't get enough time for as much exercise as I would like. So for me to look after my physical state, I bounce on the trampoline, and then, you know, Steve and I, who's my husband, you know, as you know, we live in a fantastic area in the countryside. So, you know, we like to go out for walks and feel really grateful sometimes about how lucky we are to have this amazing countryside around us. And then, you know, you've got to look after your health. You know, you've got to look at, that's the key thing. You know, we do, don't we? We do have to have fun in all that we do. And, you know, we've got to look after our family and our friends. You know, we've got to make sure that, you know, we're still inspiring people. You know, we do want to feel significant as women. You know, there's no getting away from that, but we just need to make sure that we do it on a way that we're helping others.
Yes, so we are going to give something really nice.
We're going to give something
to our listeners. Do you want to say what it is?
What are we giving?
We are giving your ebook away.
Aha! Aren't they lucky?
Yes. So all the people who listen to us is going to get your ebook. You can talk about your ebook.
Yes. I wrote my ebook when I would say now just over 12 months ago. My second one is in the process of being completed, so you have to watch your space. But the reason I wrote this ebook, because from speaking on stages and from coaching many women, there was so many people saying to me, you know, how do you do this? It's very similar of what Veronica and I are talking about. So I decided to put my simple, because I do like things in steps, and I do things very simple. That's why I choose my friends. I'm only joking. So I do like to have things in steps. So I've written this ebook called The 12 Simple Steps of Being a Successful Entrepreneur. And I would like to offer this to all our listeners as a free ebook instead of going to Amazon. And if they would like to go to my website, which is www.meetvikkithomas, Vikki Thomas. That is the correct one, Veronica, isn't it? Yeah, because Veronica does my websites. And then if you just put your details into my newsletter, then our team would automatically be able to send you a copy of the ebook. Is that correct, Veronica? Am I correct in my assumptions?
That's perfect.
Good.
So I'm really happy. I'm really happy with the 12 steps. 12 steps. People can just learn with us and try and share the structure and balance.
Exactly, and it's just for all our listeners out there, you know, to have your life structure, as I say, you know, your values, your passion, your structure, and then once you've got all that in place, then you start achieving results, which is very much what we're both seeing now at the moment.
Yes, that's what we're gonna do. So I have to. It was a really nice time to talk to you, my love. But we need to be going. So I will be waiting for you next Thursday again. I think you're gonna be flying.
Yes, next Thursday, listeners. It's going to, you know, we're just trying to see what we can sort out. I'm going to be speaking and coaching over in South Africa, and I'm going to be traveling between Cape Town, Johannesburg, and Durban. So I think at the time of the radio station, you know, I may be up in the air, but we might have a special treat for our listeners where we're going to be interviewing some South African very, very successful female entrepreneurs. And whether or not we record that beforehand or Veronica records it, we're just in the process of trying to make an extra special session for you next week.
That's beautiful to be part of this Radio W.O.R.K.S role, isn't it?
It is fantastic, and it's fantastic to share this, to share our, our stories, our passion, and have fun as well. So, I'm just so happy that so many people are listening.
Great, Vikki. Thank you for being with me tonight. I know that you're going to be watching my kids.
I know we do have to go and watch the Apprentice. My daughter has promised me that I will sit down with her and watch The Apprentice. I'm sure I might have a sneaky glass of red wine as well. But no, it's me off air and straight into mummy mode.
Perfect. I'm gonna keep working because I have a webinar to give in Spanish. So I'm happy. So I'm sending you loads of love to all my listeners, wherever you are in the world. Your host Veronica Sosa and Thomas.
Yes, Vikki Thomas, lovely to speak to you, and we will speak to you all next week. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, or evening. We're broadcasting at Radio W.O.R.K.S. Thank you and goodbye.
Bye.